Editing Arailyus here. I forgot to record an intro for this video. I want to thank everybody so much for all the love that you showed on episode 1. Guys, wow, just thank you guys so much. So this is going to be episode 2. In episode 2, we're going to talk about, as the title states, exactly what is wrong with me. And I just give a little more insight into that. So I hope you stay tuned till the end. Give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. Leave a comment down below. I forgot to say my name is Arailyus. On my channel, I do lifestyle and mental health videos. So if that is something that you would be interested in, I hope that you would consider hitting the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you know every time I upload a video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Bye guys. So you guys, as I said, my channel is lifestyle and mental health. And so while I'm still deciding what I'm gonna do, I wanted to do a mental health segment. So I talk about mental health because I have mental illness. I have bipolar disorder 2, BPD, borderline personality disorder, anxiety, depression, and ADHD, right? I've been living with it my whole life. So after, I didn't get diagnosed until 2011, y'all. Like, it took me a long time to get diagnosed. I was in the military, and I was trying to figure out why it seemed like I just did not fit in with the military. Like, I got in so much trouble. I got demoted. Like, I was not a good soldier. Like, it's like the military just was not the best option for me. However, so I always tell people, you know, growing up, your parents always give you little nuggets. And one of the nuggets my mom gave me was, she told me to go in the military. Because at the time when I graduated high school, I only applied to one college, y'all. And I just knew I was going to get in. I didn't apply to no other school. I applied to one school and did not get in. And I was out of high school trying to figure out what was my next move. And one conversation me and my mom had, she was like, why don't you go in the military? And I was like, you crazy? Like, I'm not going in the army. Like, crazy. But you know, life happens and life situations were kind of happening, and the only 2 military services that crossed my mind were the Army and Air Force. Army and Navy. Air Force did not even cross my mind. So I said, I'm gonna call the Army and the Navy. Whoever called me first, that's the one I'm gonna go with. So of course the Army called first. So I ended up going in the Army, and I went in the Army straight out of high school, 18 years old. And, you know, it's not that I have a problem with authority. It's not nothing like that. But in the military, when I was in the military, and you got to remember, I did not know I had any kind of mental disorder, y'all. So I just know I would always react on emotion. I would never think it through. When I would get upset, you would just get the first reaction out of me. And because of that, I used to get into trouble a lot in the military. Like, oh my God, like it's crazy. But I stuck with it. I did 7 years in the Army. I did 3 deployments. I went to Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan. And it just seemed like every single time I deployed, something was going on with me mentally. When I was in Kuwait, my very first duty station, my mom got sick and passed. So that was a lot we were dealing with. My first deployment, my second deployment, my kids were separated, and it just wasn't a good situation back home. And then my last deployment, me and my NCOIC, we did not get along. It was a toxic work environment. Like, it's just, oh my God. But anyway, so I'm just going through life, not thinking that anything is wrong with me. I'm just living life, thinking I'm a normal person. And it wasn't until when I got out of the military and I was doing my CMP exam, compensation and pension exam for the VA. I did my exams and I had a mental health appointment, and I went to my mental health appointment, and the lady started asking me questions, and we were in there for a while just talking. And at the end of the conversation, she was like, Miss Kingdom, I think you have bipolar disorder too, whatever. So that was my initial diagnosis, just bipolar disorder too. And that's all I had for a while. And it would, take years and more therapy and all this stuff to go on to get the rest of my diagnosis. And so 2011, 2021, so I've been knowing that I had mental disorders and living with mental disorders for 10 years. But I always say, out of all my mental disorders, sometimes I'm okay with having a bipolar disorder, but because I don't know if it's because of the bipolar disorder, but I'm like a loner anyway. Like, I don't like hang out with a lot of people. I'm more better on a one-on-one basis. Like, in crowds, I'm not that good. I'm like socially awkward, really socially awkward in crowds and stuff. But that's another story. And even with that, it's just because with my mind at any given moment, there's so much stuff running through my mind, like random thoughts, the most randomest thoughts. And a lot of times, and this is why I say one of my personalities is a kid, because a lot of the random thoughts that I get are cartoons. Like, it's so random, the stuff that runs through my brain. It's like there has to be a little kid somewhere in there for the thoughts and the ideas and stuff that I get. But so I'm diagnosed. Then, they had to play around with my medicine, find out what medicine worked, what medicine didn't work. That took a few years. The medicine I take now, it's 2 pills. But it's the same medicine. I have to take 120 milligrams. And the medicine I take is Geodone, or is Ziprasidone. That's the name of the pill I take. So I take it at night, and I take between 60 and 100 milligrams. So that's the only medicine that I take now that has been working for me. But I also have a prescription for this medicine called Buspirone, which is for anxiety, because I also suffer from anxiety. So I try not to take that medicine because I don't like the side effects. Like, the best way I can explain the side effects of that medicine, it feels like little shocks in your brain. Like, that's the best way I can explain the side effects. But I try not to take the medicine. It does take the anxiety away, but I just don't like the side effects. So a lot of times I won't take it. I'll, try anything else. I'll talk to somebody. A lot of times when I'm feeling like not my best mentally, I will call the crisis line. And I don't know if you know, but you don't have to be in distress to call the crisis line. Like, if you just need somebody to talk to, you can call them. They're available 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Somebody is always there or whatever. So when I start feeling the anxiety, or I'm just having a bad day mentally, I'll call and talk to somebody on the prevention line, and then they'll send a message to my mental health team at the hospital, at the VA, and then they'll contact me, do a follow-up or whatever. So I want to tell y'all about something that happened. It's kind of, honestly, I think it's still going on. I don't think I'm completely over it. But I had a really bad car accident September 3rd. I was in a really bad accident with an 18-wheeler and another car. And my car got totaled. Thank God I didn't get hurt. I was a little sore, but I walked away, like, with no problems. Like, I'm perfectly fine. So God is amazing. I'm so grateful to him. Because if you would see my car, like, how did you walk away from that? But okay, so I had the car accident in September, and I think I didn't realize it, but I think that was the onset of my mania, which is a part of bipolar disorder. You're either hypermanic or hypomanic, which is the lows. So my mania always starts with the highs, and I never realized I'm going through mania until I hit the lows. So from September, all of September, October, I was going through mania. And I'm just, in my mind, living my best life. Like, I'm just, if it makes me happy, I'm doing it. I don't care who don't like it. That's all I care about is me and my feelings, my emotions. That's all I cared about. I was carefree. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. Or whatever. Spending money, that's a big part of mania, is excessive spending, which I did overspend. So I'm now having to get myself back situated financially because I did spend a lot of money. Another symptom of mania is hypersexuality, but that part never really applies to me. Like, you know, they say when you're hypersexual, you'll have sex with anybody, like a random person, and that has never happened to me. Like, if I'm seeing somebody or if I'm in a relationship, yeah, I'm gonna have sex with them, but I'm never gonna pick a random person to have sex with. But it's other little things. But I noticed I was needing less sleep. I do have insomnia, but sometimes I can fall asleep and I wake up early in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I be up for the whole day. That happens a lot. Or I always wake up at 6 to pee. I don't care how many times I use the bathroom at night. I'm always going to wake up at 6 to pee. And majority of the time at 6, I'm up. So I just have to be up. Excuse me. But I was noticing I was definitely needing more sleep. They say you have this like euphoric feeling where you feel like you're just superwoman, or you just feel like you're that bitch. You're on top of the world. Like, nothing can faze you. And maybe I was feeling that. Like I said, I was just living my best life. Like, you know, and that's why I say with mania, it's like, you have to be real careful, because like I say, I've been diagnosed for 10 years and I still never notice when mania hits. You know, whatever. I always notice it when I crash. So September and October, I was hypermanic. I was going through mania. When November hit, a lot of things changed. A lot of things happened at the same time. Like, everybody know I made the video about my uncle passing, but I was just also dealing with some other personal issues at the time, and it just seemed like everything hit me at the same time. So I felt when I hit the depression. I felt when the depression came on, and I was like, oh shit. So now I'm replaying, trying to figure out, oh my God, was I going through mania? What did I do? When did it start? You know, I need to talk to my doctor, blah, blah, blah. All these things running through my head or whatever. And I'm like, So trying to pinpoint when everything started. And so I went from when the spending started, the excessive spending, because I spend money all the time. I shop all the time. But the excessive spending it started like right after the accident. And I mean, if I want to be 100% honest, maybe I bought the car I drive now because I was going through mania. I bought an Audi. I totaled my Maxima and I bought an Audi. That could have been a purchase I made because I was going through mania. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my girl. I love my truck. I have the 21 Q5. Love my baby. Love that freaking truck. She's gorgeous. But, you know, I do wonder, was that a splurge because of the mania? But I did always want that car, so maybe it was like a combination. Cause like I said, the Audi A5 was my dream car, but when I test drove the A5, and I didn't really like it because it was really low to the ground. It was a really small car. So my salesman was like, try the Q5, and instantly I fell in love with the Q5. So the Q5 is my dream car, substitute dream car, or whatever. But the depression, when the depression hit, it actually started at the end of October. That's when the depression started. And it was bad, y'all. Like, I had this horrible, and the worst anxiety attack I ever had. And I called the crisis line while I was having the anxiety attack. Y'all, it was so bad. Like, all I kept feeling, like, something in my head kept saying, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die. And so I was so scared. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. What's gonna happen to me? Why am I gonna, like, nothing is making sense. But all I know is something keep telling me you're gonna die. And I just feel this pressure on my chest. Like, it feels like somebody is just holding my chest down. And I'm like sweating and crying. Like, it was bad. It was a really bad anxiety attack. But the thing about it, when I hit, again, diagnosed for 10 years. When I hit my depression, I know how bad it can get. I know I can get suicidal thoughts. I know I can just feel hopeless and want to give up and quit. But this is where you have to take your role in your own mental health very seriously. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to talk you off the ledge. Like, if you're in the room by yourself, like, you're going to have to do that yourself. So when I hit my lows, when I do go through depression, oh my God, y'all would think I'm a crazy woman walking through the house because I'm yelling, screaming, talking shit to the depression, telling the depression it can't stay here. You can find somewhere else to go. Life is good. Take your ass on. Like, you're nobody. Like, what I tell myself, whatever I need to tell myself to make myself feel good, because all this shit is mental, and everybody knows the brain is the strongest muscle in the body. So if you can control your mind, you can control your whole body. I don't have control over my mind, but when it comes to my depression, I be like, fuck that shit. I'm not about to be sad, depressed. I'm not doing none of that shit. So it's like I force myself to get up and take a shower, because when I'm depressed, it's like I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to eat. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do anything but lay in the bed and listen to music. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. Nobody bother me. But I forced myself, like, no, Arailyus, you're not finna stay in the slump. You're not going to stay down. You're going to pull yourself up. You're going to get through this just like all the other times. And I'm so grateful for my family that supports me, my best friend, my cousin, and my sister. Like, they are so amazing. My oldest sister is like my biggest cheerleader when it comes to my mental health. Like, she is amazing. I can talk to her about anything, and she listens, she gives me her input, and she's caring, she's understanding, you know. And Michelle, if you see this, girl, I love you. I love you so much. You do not know how much you mean to me. And the day that I'm recording is actually her birthday. So, you know what? Today is Michelle's birthday, my sister. today is also my cousin Toledo's birthday. My cousin Albert, who was in my last vlog, today is his birthday. And then another girl we graduated high school with, her name is Tree. Today is also her birthday. So all 4 of them are celebrating birthdays today. So that is great. So I want to tell all of you happy birthday since I'm recording this on your birthday. But back to my mental health, you know, it's a struggle. I tell people every day it's a struggle. Like, you know, to have a mental illness can be debilitating. I don't allow my mental illness to overtake me. Now, yes, I do have my moments and I get down and sad and I do have anxiety and stuff like that, but I'm not staying down. Like, I cannot stay down. Like, it's a big mental game and I refuse to play. Like, most people with mental illness feel like, you know, somebody that they're fighting, like, especially people with schizophrenia, like, they feel like somebody is after them. I don't feel like anybody's after me or anything like that. I just feel like I fight demons, like spiritual demons. Like, I feel like that's where all my problems are. Like, it's a spiritual warfare. Like, that's how I feel about my mental health. I do know, yes, mental health is real, but that's how I look at it. Like, it's a spiritual warfare that I'm fighting. So yeah, on that. But you know, y'all, I don't know, life is still good though. I live a normal life. I raised 2 kids. I have a master's degree. I bought a house. I bought a car. I have a job. Like, I live a regular, normal life. I have people in my life that care about me. And I do know, like, I'll say, like, with my cousin Toledo, like, when I tell y'all, she's known me ever since we were kids. We grew up like sisters. She is 9 months and 12 days older than me, a whole baby. We grew up like sisters. And she's known me my whole life. And so she knows that I've had other female friends and the friendship ended, you know, whatever. And it's like, because I feel like sometimes I can be gullible, but it's because I always try to see the good in people. I always try to give people a chance, and that's not always a good thing. But it just seems like whenever I stop being friends with somebody and I tell Toledo, she's always like, well, I don't think that was a good person to be in your life anyway. You know, and I'm just like, dang, what am I not seeing that everybody else is seeing? Now, I will say I jokingly call myself a train wreck waiting to happen because of, you know, with my mental illness. Because at the end of the day, my mental illness is who I am. My personality is because of the person that I am and the mental illness. But I've lived with this for so long, you know, I don't even try to separate it anymore. Like, do I do this because of the mental illness or if I'm doing it because of me? I just do it because I just feel like it's just me, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I have losses. I mean, from the outside looking in, like my auntie told me, I have a great presentation, you know, like everything is good. But up under that presentation, there's a lot going on, you know, and it just, with mental illness, it's just always something. It never stops. It's always something. Oh my God, this video is, I didn't want to make this video this long. Oh my God. So, see, I start talking about mental health and I just be going. So, I'm going to end this video here, but I want to say, I hope that kind of gave you an introduction into the person that I am, and like I said, the kind of content that I want to put on my channel. I am a normal person. I just have an abnormal brain or abnormal mind, you know, whatever, but I can still live my best life. Like, there are no rules on because you have a mental illness, you can't do X, Y, Z. Like, You can still achieve all your goals. You can start a business. You can get married, have kids. Mental illness doesn't define the person that you are. Like, it's just another part of your life that you just add to everything else that you have going on. And you learn about your mental illness. You get treatment. You learn how to positive talk to yourself when you feel a whole lot of negativity, because that's what it is, a whole lot of negativity. And honestly, I didn't used to do that. Like, when I used to feel sad and stuff, I didn't used to talk back to the anxiety, depression. It was actually one of my coworkers. He also has like a few mental illness going on, and me and him were talking one day, and he said it as a joke. And he was like, man, I be cussing my motherfucking thoughts out. I be like, take your motherfucking ass on. So I'm laughing at him, but at the same time, I'm like, does it work? And he was like, yeah, that shit worked. And actually, it was another person that I spoke to, another one of my, I don't even know what to call her. She's one of my angels. I love her so much. I always call her when I'm going through stuff, like when it just gets really bad. And she always brings me back to reality and be like, so that's what you tripping about? And she be like, that's really nothing. She break the situation down and be like, so this is really what you tripping about, and it's really nothing. But she even told me that too. And that's when it was like my coworker and my good friend telling me, Arailyus, you gotta talk back to that depression, that anxiety, that bipolar disorder, the BPD. You got, when you're feeling down and sad and depressed and you want to end your life and all this or whatever, you got to talk back to that shit. And you can't just be saying, oh, leave me alone. I wish you would leave me alone. She was like, no. She said, Arailyus, if I called you and said, Arailyus, I won the lottery, would you believe me? I said, no, not if you say it like that. She said, my point exactly. You got to yell. You got to scream. You know, whatever. Like, take control. You know, whatever. And ever since then, ever since her and my coworker told me that, like, I just been talking to the mental illness. And, I mean, my depression started at the end of October. I can't say I'm 100% over it, but I'm feeling much better. So I felt like this was a good time to make this video when I was in the lows. Like, it would have been crazy. Well, I wouldn't have known that I was going through the highs. Mental illness is very interesting. It's very tricky. And mania, like I said, would just have you thinking you're living your best life. But in actuality, you're not. You're really sick and you need to go talk to somebody. Go sit your ass down somewhere and get somebody your credit cards and your debit card. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm gonna stop the video now. I hope you enjoy. I hope it gave you an insight into the person that I am. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I would love to hear your questions. I promise I will answer each and every one of them. I hope that you liked the video. It was informative. You learned something. Maybe there's some qualities in myself that you might pick up in yourself. That's not to self-diagnose, but you know, you never know, because like I said, I didn't know I had a mental disorder. So you never know. I could help one person and that would just make my day. If one person is like, oh my God, I may have some of those things, symptoms, you know, whatever. You never know. But again, leave me comments down below. Subscribe if you have not already. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share this video. And all that good stuff. I really appreciate you for watching. It means the world to me. Like, I don't know. This mental health thing is me. And I just want to talk to as many people about it as I can, because there's such a stigma with mental illness, and it doesn't have to be that way. So let me stop now before I start back talking again. I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. I wanted to add this in too, because I know somebody may ask, And I don't know if it's just me. I can only speak for myself. But interpersonal relationships are kind of hard for me too. Like, I have way better luck with male friends. Like, I have male friends I've known for damn near 20 years. Whereas female friends, they don't, something always happens and we end up not being friends. I do have my cousin who I consider my friend, and I have one more friend that lives in Florida, and we've known each other since I was living in Florida, and we're not around each other every day, but that's my girl. Whenever I need to talk to somebody, she's there. So those are the two female friends that I have. But my male friends, like, I get along better with males. But relationship wise, I'm not good with relationships. I know me and my personality, I can be clingy. I do know that about myself. See, I can be honest and admit that. I can be clingy and I want a lot of time, a lot of attention, and communication. And it just seemed like guys don't know how to communicate. Or they communicate, but they won't do X, Y, Z. Like, it's something. And I just have really short patience, and I'm in a place in my life where I'm content with myself and I'm happy with myself and I enjoy my own company. I love myself and it does not bother me to be by myself. So I'm not desperate for a man. Like, I do have guys that I talk to, but I'm not in a relationship with any of them. So that's me on dating. I have male friends. I have a few male friends. And I just stick with my male friends. But dating, when I meet guys, I tell them that I don't really date. I tell people up front about me having a mental disorder. It's nothing that I'm embarrassed about. Like, I talk about it. It's my life. So I do tell guys about it. I've only had maybe a couple guys, were like, oh, are you crazy? Blase, blase. But for the most part, guys don't really care about that kind of stuff, ladies. Guys don't care that you're crazy. I don't know. You could tell them you're crazy. They don't care. They'll still talk to you. They'll still date you. Or maybe that's just my experience. I don't know. But I wanted to add that in there to the video in case anybody was wondering about that. Interpersonal relationships. If you're a guy, yeah, you're a good one. But if you're a female, I don't really stick around. But alright, you guys, so that officially ends this video. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.